Hi, everybody. Good evening. At the outset, let me thank each and every one of you for taking time out from your busy schedules to attend this event. I'm certain by the end of this session, you'll at least feel that you'll try to live a more healthy lifestyle. With that being said, um, I'd like to introduce to you our family health guru. I have known him for quite a few years now. I fondly call him Suresh Uncle, but to everybody over here, he's Suresh Guruji. In my experience with him, he's been selfless, approachable, and he's always taken a holistic approach to uh, health. Mind, body, soul, everything. He is the founder of Smart, which is a foundation which has a vision to create a stress-free world, right? And that is what we all strive for. He has dedicated his life to this cause with passion. Um, he's committed to creating a healthy and peaceful world, uh, world free of stress problems. His work on yoga for health has been greatly appreciated by everybody. The Indian Board of Alternative Medicines has recognized him as a registered medical practitioner. He's been a practicing yogi for a greater part of 35 years, and he's been studying, analyzing, and experimenting the effects of yoga on health and how to use yoga productively for universal good since 1995. And he's trained more than 1,000 participants from different walks of life. Um, it's no $1 million secret that what and how we eat affects our overall well-being. Food is the fuel that drives us to achieve our ambition and daily goals. In today's session with Suresh Uncle, Guruji to you all, about these golden food habits, we will see an immediate and actionable way to make a change in our life, which gives us long-term results and no additional expenditure at all. So, without further ado, I take this opportunity to invite him with big smiles and an extremely curious mind. Welcome, Suresh Uncle, Guruji.
Thank you, Pratik. Uh, Let me start off with the slide. Yes, I hope you can all see the slides. Pratik, you can.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So we'll start off with this. Uh, Pratik mentioned that I'm going to talk about food, and the slide shows you about a couple with some gold jewelry. So I hope you don't wonder why you have to eat some gold. This is not about eating gold, it's about golden food habits. Now, when we talk about food, the very basic question is, why do we eat food? Most of the time, we eat food because we are hungry. But is that the only reason why we eat food? Many times you will realize that you're eating because it's time to eat. No, it's 1 o'clock, or it's no breakfast time, it's lunch time, it's dinner time, and it's time to eat. So you're eating. Sometimes you eat because you have some guests and you need to give company to them. And um, one more, uh, what should I say? Um, One more situation where it is not a very healthy way of eating is when you are under stress. You tend to eat because you're under stress, and you also tend to eat when you're feeling bored. So, although we eat food to get energy, to get health, but when we eat for other reasons, then it affects our health. Now, to understand this little better, let me show you a few things. Let me ask you one question. Uh, I may not be able to hear your answer, but I want you to think about this. There's a chair you can see, and there is different items kept there: alcohol, cigarette, sweets, fatty food. What do you think is the most dangerous things among all this? In terms of health, which one of this can cause a major health upset to us? You will be surprised. It is none of the stuff on the chair. It is the chair itself. The new danger is from sitting for a long time, the sedentary lifestyle. Now, most of us happen to sit in the office in front of a laptop and work. What happens is we are sitting for a very long time without getting up, without movement. Now, that is supposed to be very bad for health, much more than any of the other food stuff that we eat. So, before we even start talking about food, what I would like to say is you need to be on constant move all the time if you want good health. No, if you're sitting and working on the laptop, good. But every few minutes or every few, say, what a half an hour, once in half an hour or 45 minutes, you can get up whenever you need to go and talk to somebody, if you need to go drink some water or coffee. Better to get up and move rather than having everything on your desk. So that is the very first rule about healthy food habit. That is, don't sit for too long. Whenever you need to have food or do something, have some physical movement. I would like to, uh, I would like you to think about something. Survival of the fattest. Now, before I get into too much about food, I want you to think about this survival of the fattest. What does it mean? As a human being during our evolution for past millions of years, it has been only about 100 years since we have had plenty of food to eat, or maybe say 500 years or 1000 years, which is nothing in terms of evolution. A major portion of our evolution has been such a way that there is a season when there is plenty of food available, and then you have a season of famine or less food. So human beings have been evolving in a cyclic manner where you get plenty of food and then there is no food, plenty of food, no food. So what happens is the people who were fat or who could accumulate a lot of fat, they were the ones who could survive better in such kind of environment. The genes responsible for our survival is the gene which helps us to accumulate more fat. But in past 100 years or so, food is available in abundance. Say past few years, maybe thanks to Corona, now food is available at click of your finger. No, just click of your phone. You pick up your phone and you can order food. You can get anything, ice cream, sweets, anything you want, and it's available at your doorstep. Now the negative aspect of this is when the food is available in abundance throughout the day and night, 24 by 7, 365 days a year, then there is a problem of obesity because we tend to put on fat, and over a period of time the fat goes on accumulating, and once the fat starts accumulating in our visceral organs, uh, beyond certain point it can be dangerous. Although initially that was a necessity for our evolution, but now the very same gene which was responsible for our evolution is become something which can cause more harm. So we need to understand this because it's not like somebody is overeating and becoming fat. It is there in our genes. So once you realize that, then we have to look at our food in a slightly different manner. So let me move on to something about fat. No, many of us or many people who put on some weight, they think in terms of losing weight. So the when we say we want to lose weight, basically we mean that we want to lose the fat, the excess fat in the body. So where does that excess fat go? No, the fat which is accumulating in the body, if you want it to go, where does it go? Uh, Many people don't know the answer for this. For the fat to break down and get out of the body, out of our system, what the most important thing that we need is oxygen. So when we exercise, we need oxygen. And when we exercise with the oxygen, or even no, even when you're just breathing, the oxygen combines with this fat and breaks it down to give us the energy. And how does it come out? It comes out in the form of carbon dioxide and water. So it doesn't come out in the form of urine or sweat and all those things. Urine and sweat is mainly the water that we have consumed, and it's got nothing to do with the fat that we want to get rid of. So if you want to get rid of fat, you need to breathe better, and uh, it will come out in the form of carbon dioxide. So now let us try to understand about food little more. So why do we eat food? To get some energy. So food gives us energy. So food is equal to energy, right? So if I eat very less food, then I'll have less energy. No, it may not happen. Say if one meal, if you skip or something, it won't make much of a difference. This will happen over a period of time. Say for a few years you have been eating very less, or you have not been eating properly. Then you start feeling little tired and less energetic. So less food can mean less energy, right? What about more food? When we have more food, you must have all attended some wedding functions or parties where you eat biryani or some very special dishes which you are very fond of. When you eat that, there's a tendency to eat little extra, and there may be so many different dishes, and you just eat little, and still you are so much full. So when you eat so much, you must be getting a lot of energy, right? When you eat so much, no, you're full till your neck, and you sit down, and your eyes close. Hey, I thought food is supposed to give us more energy, but what's happening? We are feeling dizzy, we are feeling tired, and why is that? That is because when we overeat, the body requires a lot more energy to digest that food itself than the energy available for us for the activities. So, just because we eat more, it does not give us more energy. In fact, we should eat in moderation. I will talk a little more about what do you mean by moderation. Uh, Basically, I want to say is by eating more food, you are not going to get more energy. So, especially for kids or small babies, we should be careful. Parents or grandparents sometimes try to force feed the babies or small children and say that no, you want energy, you should eat more. No, that is not true. They just need little food to have the energy that they need. Anything more than that, in fact, it will be counterproductive. They'll become less energetic. That means less active. That means they can become obese. So now this energy that we get in nature, any kind of fuel which gives us energy, the fuel is in three different forms. No, it's in the form of solids, liquids, and gas. Uh, Example for solid fuel is wood, liquid fuel is petrol, kerosene, and gas is LPG, CNG. Now, from gaseous fuel, we can get out energy very fast, very easily. In liquid, little more effort is required, but it's quite easy. But when it comes to solids, you need to put in a lot more effort. That's what I mean when you eat or overeat, the body will have to put in a lot more effort to digest the food than the amount of energy that we will get out of the food at that point of time. Maybe over a period of time, little later, you will get that extra energy. But at that point of time, you will be spending more energy to digest the food rather than the energy that you get from the food itself. Now, talking about this energy or types of fuel, just like nature, do we also get energy or source of energy from different forms like solid liquids? Now, out of the 100% energy that we get, no, many times people think that they get energy only from the solid food that we eat. No, if you want more energy, eat more. But that's not true. We get only 25% energy from the solid food, and another 25% from the water that we drink, and about 50% energy is from the air. Without breathing oxygen or no, without taking the air in, we are not going to get the kind of energy that we need to function in the regular life. So let us not have the illusion that all the energy that I want, I will be getting from solid food. No, we need water as well as air to make it the whole. Just like fire, no, you need fuel plus you need oxygen for to burn that so that we get energy out of it. Same way, the solid food that we eat, we need oxygen to burn it. Only then we will be able to get energy, which can be used, the useful form of energy. Otherwise, all the food that we eat will start accumulating in different part of our body, um, and we start putting on no, I won't say weight, because uh, weight is different from fat. We start putting on more fat, and sometimes no, you may lose weight but you may put on a lot of fat, and once you start exercising, uh, you lose fat but you start to put on weight. So no, we should not correlate weight with health. No, it's not necessarily that once you put on weight it is unhealthy, or you lose weight it is unhealthy. No, you, to be healthy you need to be at an optimum weight, and the body knows what is your optimum weight. Uh, no, we don't have to do too much about that. The body itself will tell us when we need to eat, or what is our optimum weight. Simple way of finding out whether you are at optimum weight is you go for a walk. No, walk for a couple of kilometers. If you are comfortable, that means your body weight is okay. If you get breathless, unless you have some ailments, uh, without any ailments, if you're getting breathless, that means you're not at a healthy weight. Now, I was just mentioning about energy here. Now, let us look at uh, what do you mean by the energy in the food, right? Uh, Most of you must have gone shopping, buying some vegetables. Yes, you must have bought some vegetables. What kind of vegetable would you buy? The one in the picture, one, two, or three? Obviously, you will buy vegetables which are like this, fresh. These are old or stale, or no, the vegetables which have become dry. Most people would not like to buy this kind of vegetables unless it is for some other purpose. So this is what we buy. So uh, what is there in that vegetable? Why is this kind of vegetable attracting us, or why we should buy this? What is it that is present in this vegetable which is absent in the vegetable which is little old? In Sanskrit, we call it prana. In Chinese, we call it chi. Japanese, we call it ki. In English, there is no exact word for it, so we call it fresh, we call it lively, or energetic. Now, depending on whether we are talking about vegetables or human beings, we use different terms. But in Oriental languages, we have a particular term for that, prana or chi or ki, which means energetic, liveliness. And apart from all the, what should I say, minerals, carbohydrates, fats, protein, etc., that we get from food, we also need to get this prana from the food that we eat. Many times we don't realize that we need to get the prana from the food apart from the fat and proteins and carbohydrates as well as vitamins. No, all those things are important, but that's not the only thing that we need to get from the food. Let me give you one example. Now imagine uh, you're very thirsty, so you have a glass of water, you feel energetic. That means you are getting some prana from that. Now different people would have experienced sourcing water, especially people from older generation. They would have consumed water from well, from lake, from rivers, uh, and no, most of you must have visited oceans. So when you consume water from a well or a borewell, that has got very little prana. But when you consume water from a river, you can feel some difference. If you're no, if you're a little sensitive, you can make out the difference in taste or something. No, maybe even taste you will not be able to make out much, but there is some difference, some subtle difference. Now that difference is the prana. And when you go to some ocean or a sea, you don't even have to drink that water. You just sit there and you can hear the sound of waves. You can just feel the waves and you get the energy. Now, that is the pranic energy. Some places, some kind of food or some kind of atmosphere can increase the pranic energy in your body. Of course, in yoga, we have pranayama, the science of breathing, which can help you to increase the pranic level in your body. That's a different topic. We'll not talk about that here now. But I want you to know that this prana or pranic energy is the most important aspect to make us feel more energetic and lively. Now, I would like to talk a little more about this food. Now, this energy, pranic energy that I spoke about, uh, that can be classified into different classification. Um, Traditionally, we had called it as sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic food. Now, sattvic food, we can also call it as peaceful food. Food which can make us feel calm. Rajasic food can be called as irritable food or aggressive food. The food which will make us ready for the action. Uh, Although the image here shows irritability, but it's not always negative like that. There are times when you need to be a little more aggressive, little more active. So you do need rajasic food also. And the third classification is tamasic food or lazy food. Now, when you're working and if you have this kind of lazy food, uh, no, you may not be able to put in that kind of energy into your work. You feel little tired, you don't have that energy to pump into the work. So you need to be little more aware of what kind of food you're eating. Otherwise, no, you will feel that I'm eating okay. As per doctor, as per nutrition expert, I'm having my carbohydrates, I'm having my proteins, I'm having my fats, I'm controlling everything, I'm having a balanced diet. But still, there is something missing. and that is the imbalance in the type of energy or the type of prana which is there in the food. So let us try to understand this food classification. So we'll start with sattvic food. What is sattvic food? So among sattvic food, we have ashgard, we have sprouts, fresh fruits, dry fruits and nuts, raw vegetables, greens. Greens means all your leafy vegetables, palak, spinach. Um, there's a whole lot of things, pudina, etc. Capsicum and black pepper. I would like to spend a little more time about this, so I will not go into details right now. So let us look at the other kind of uh, classification, the rajasic food. So what is rajasic food? Uh, these are the list of rajasic food. Now I have put them in an increasing order of rajas. That means we start off with chili. Now let us try to understand what you mean by this rajasic food. No, I'm sure there are a lot of people who like spicy food. No, you want to have little extra chilies or extra spice in the food. Yes. Now, let us take little chili or chili powder and put it in that person's eyes. Now, the person likes spicy food, right? No, but when you put that chili in the eyes, how will he feel? Will he say, "Aha, so nice," or will he be irritable? Now, that is the guna or the character of chili. That is what I am talking about. Now, that is the character of the chili to cause irritation. So, a person would feel uh, no irritable when chili is put in his eyes. Now, uh, the character of chili does not change even when you put the chili in the food. When you eat it, the chili goes to your stomach, and in your stomach, it causes the irritation. Now, little more than chili is onion, which causes little more irritation, then garlic, then tea coffee. Now, when I say it's irritable, it doesn't mean that it is something bad. No, people say garlic and onion can be, it has got some medicinal values. Now, how many kgs of medicine would you eat? Right? You don't eat medicine in kgs, you eat in small quantity. So, when you eat in small quantity, it can be medicinal, but if you eat too much, it can cause bad effects. More rajasic than tea coffee is fish, more than fish is egg, and more than that is chicken, then mutton, then we go to the next category of red meat, beef, pork, and wild animals. I will not talk too much about this. And more than that is brinjal. That is one vegetable which is supposed to be having certain chemicals which can cause certain imbalances in your mind as well as in your blood circulation. So that is why it is there as a rajasic food. More than brinjal, we have beer, gin, hard liquors, and then comes petrol. Why petrol? If you have visited a petrol pump, if you visit the petrol pump in the morning when the person is fresh, he may be very pleasant to you. But you go in the evening, he would have inhaled petrol over the whole day, and now if you look at him, he'll be a little daisy and irritable. Same way, kerosene can cause far more irritability, and French polish, which can be extremely bad. That's why if you see painters who do door polishing, etc., no, they are irritable most of the time. Let me move on to tamasic food. Now, tamasic food is the lazy food, which is usually the food which is having least amount of prana, and in modern terms, we call it as junk food, which includes pickles, cola, snacks, sweets, chips, French fries, all kind of things. And Most of us have a magic box in our house which can turn almost any food into tamasic food. Can you guess what is that magic box in our house? Almost all of us have this magic box. It is called the fridge or the refrigerator. I'm sorry, in this forum, you may not like it when I say it, but the fridge by itself does not keep the food healthy. It only prevents it from getting spoiled. The freshness of the food does not remain in the fridge. It only helps us to prevent wastage of food or spoiling of food. Now, I was hoping that we will continue this as a series of talks. So I have reached one point where I have covered a few topics, and I think we will uh, throw the floor open for questions. Is that right, Mr. Prashad? Uh,
You can go for some more time.
I can go on for some more time. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
another 5 minutes you can go. 5, 10 minutes.
Another 5 minutes. Okay, okay. Now, as I was mentioning, I would like to talk a little more about sattvic food. So I'll just talk about that. Now, sattvic food consists of ashgard. Sorry, ashgard. Now, ashgard is the whitish kind of pumpkin that is used during Ayuda Puja. No, it's got ash color on top. What do? We no, uh, we use it as a drishti in the tradition now. In India, we use it for removing the drishti, or we do some puja with that. But it is far more beneficial for us um, because the amount of prana in ashgard is so much that it is considered as a substitute for narbali. No, in olden days, people used to cut a chicken or some animal as a bali. When a few thousand years back, when they decided that no, we should stop this system of giving bali, they decided that we will use some substitute. So the best substitute they found was ashgard, because that is supposed to be having so much of prana that breaking an ashgard is almost equivalent to giving a bali. So instead of breaking it and wasting it during Ayuda Puja, I would say we should consume it on a daily basis. We can simply grate it. The juice that comes out, you can squeeze out the pulp, use the juice, you drink it, it will increase the energy level. And the pulp, you can mix it with some curd. For taste, you can add either jaggery or you can add some salt, pepper, etc. if you don't like sweet, and you can consume that. That will give you so much of energy. I have had cases where we were able to control diabetes and BP just using this ashgard. Next in the list is sprouts. Now, what is seed? Now, seed is stored energy. A seed is designed in nature to store some energy so that that energy can be utilized when the plant needs to grow, because it will take some time before the plant can produce its own energy. So till then, it needs that energy. So that energy is stored in the seed. So when we sprout it, the energy is far more easily available to us. In the form of seed, it is stored form. No, it is something like it is packed. It is little more difficult for our body to digest it and get the full energy out of it. But when it starts sprouting, when I say sprouting, it should be at least 3 to 4 inches long. That's when you get maximum energy out of the food. You can sprout, green grams, horse grams. Uh, People even sprout peanuts, chana. All this can be sprouted, and the energy you get out of it is far more when you sprout it. Fresh fruit, of course, I don't have to talk much about it. Fresh fruit can give you instant energy. If you're fasting, it is advisable to break a fast with fresh fruits rather than going for anything else. And the best thing to use is citrus fruits like orange or mosambi, and then go on to other fruits, and then you can have other kind of food. Nuts, sorry, nuts. When I say nuts, I also include all the dry fruits. Now, this is a very good source of energy, and it's also a source of certain rare elements or rare minerals that we don't get from um, other food. Um, Raw vegetables. When we say raw vegetables, uh, can we eat all the vegetables raw, or what are the vegetables that can be consumed raw? In fact, as per my knowledge, there are only two or three vegetables which cannot be consumed raw. All the vegetables can be consumed raw. Um, no, a few vegetables like maybe drumstick or brinjal, these cannot be consumed raw. Everything else, radish, uh, carrot, cucumber, and all. Most of you must have tasted already. No, but almost all the vegetables can also be consumed raw. You can make different kind of salads. You can mix and match depending on what vegetable is available in the season. You mix it, and you can mix along with the vegetables. You can also mix some fruits. You can also mix some dry fruits and nuts and make it more interesting. You can add some sprouts. No, the whole lot of thing you can do when you make salads. And uh, I believe you should have at least one serving of salad every day to make sure that your diet is completely balanced, because you don't get all the what should I say, all the minerals and all the nutrition from the cooked food. Then comes to greens. Greens, apart from having chlorophyll, it is usually very rich in zinc, iron, and many other minerals, which is far more easily digestible when it is raw compared to when it is cooked. That's why it is better to have greens. Um, I mean, better to have greens raw. No, you must be eating greens in the form of palak paneer, and no, so many different varieties of food we can cook using leafy vegetables. But here I'm talking about uncooked. No, take one palak. You don't need a whole bunch of palak when you're eating raw. You just need one leaf. Wash it nicely. When you're eating only one leaf, you can wash it very well, and then cut into small pieces. It will hardly be one spoon. You mix it up in your salad. It will not even be visible, but the amount of nutrition it will give you is tremendous. Next is capsicum. Now, usually capsicum, even in cooked food, is added in such a way that it is fairly raw, because that is when you get maximum nutrition from capsicum. And then finally, black pepper. Now, I have added this black pepper here because compared to chilies, which is considered as rajasic, black pepper is considered as sattvic food. It also helps in cleaning our blood and removing excess cholesterol or excess fat accumulated in our blood vessels. So, it is a good idea to include pepper when you want to make something spicy. In your juice, or your fruit juice, vegetable juice, or your salads. If you want to make it spicy, use pepper rather than chilies. That will make it a lot more healthier, and uh, what should I say? Lot more palatable as well. So for seasoning, for taste, a couple of things I suggest is salt, pepper, and jaggery instead of sugar. And if you have, if it is available, honey will be even better than jaggery. So if you want something sweeter, you can add honey or jaggery. If you want it spicy, you can add salt, pepper, and if you want to add a little more to the taste, you can add a few drops of lime. No, you can play around with it and make it more interesting, make it more palatable, make it. No, you can have so much of varieties. Maybe we'll discuss a little more about that in one of the sessions, because that itself can take more than half an hour to discuss. So I would request Mr. Prashad to tell me when I need to stop, because this is a topic where you can go on and on. Um,
Santosh Guruji, for today, I think we will stop here. And
okay,
today we'll take the questionnaire session now. And I think we'll have a series of sessions. In the second, third, we'll take the next chapters which we want to inform our audience actually. So we will start with the questionnaires. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the first
so
question I am having on the board is, it is by Mr. Pratik. What is your take on intermittent fasting? Is it beneficial?
okay,
Intermittent fasting.
intermittent fasting. So now he is trying to qualify fasting with intermittent. So that means there are so many different types of fasting.
Yeah.
So let me first tell you that fasting by itself is something very good for us. It is like any equipment that you have, whether it is a car or a motor. Over a period of time, you service it. You give it a break. You don't run a motor continuously for non-stop for hours together. It will burn out. Similarly, the stomach that our stomach and digestive system needs a break. So fasting helps us, or fasting helps our digestive system and the stomach to regenerate itself and uh, clear itself and become stronger in terms of the ability to digest food better. People who cannot fast for a longer time, it is a good idea to start with intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting can mean skipping just one meal, or you skip the meal and substitute it with just water, or just have some juice, fresh juice. So there are different ways of doing it, but whichever way you do, when you're fasting, you're not having any cooked food, so that gives a break to the stomach and the digestive system, and that break is very important for the digestive system to become stronger and better. So it's definitely beneficial.
Thank you, Suresh Guruji. I think this intermittent fasting is one word which you hear very commonly nowadays. There were some people who were telling it is not so good, some who were telling it is very good. I think you have clarified the doubt. Intermittent fasting is good, especially for people who cannot do a long term fasting.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
so yeah,
Uh,
so,
yeah, I would just like to add,
yeah,
some people have issues, no, because of sugar, diabetes. The sugar level goes up and down, so they want to be a little more careful. So that is where this intermittent fasting comes in, wherein you can decide for how long you want to fast. You don't have to make it very long, depending on your body's ability and your capacity. You decide,
okay,
and
yeah,
as you practice over a period, you can increase the duration.
okay, yeah. Thank you. The next question is, what food is good for the liver? Nowadays, you hear mostly about this fatty liver and people having stomach pains. So a lot of liver-related issues. There are certain food which are causing harm to the liver. So what are those food which cause harm to the liver, and what food should be taken to ensure the liver performs well? So can
Okay.
we get some clarity about this?
Okay. Now, uh, fatty liver. When we talk about fatty liver, the fat in the liver is not from the fat that we eat. No, the fat that we consume does not get into the liver. Usually, the fatty liver is caused by the carbohydrates that we eat, and the liver converts that excess carbohydrate, which is in excess of what we need. That extra carbohydrate is converted into fat and stored. That is when it becomes a little more harmful. Uh, to some extent, it is okay, but if it is too much of fat stored, then it is not very healthy. But it is not just the fat which is harmful to the liver. The most harmful thing which can cause damage to the liver is the medicine that we take. No, we cannot avoid medicine, but we need to give enough time to the body, especially to our liver, to clean out. No, the liver is like a chemical factory in our body, which will test what chemical is there in the system, and it will see how to neutralize all those chemicals. So when we take a medicine, that medicine needs to be there in our system, and once the function of that medicine is done, the liver comes into the picture and it tries to clear it out. But when you have too much of medication, then the liver no, starts getting damaged, and no, that is more harmful.
Okay.
Similarly, there are certain kind of food like no, non-vegetarian food, alcohol, etc., which can cause a lot of damage to liver. And the best food which can help to regenerate or make the liver better is sattvic food, which includes the whole lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and especially tender coconut water, and sugar cane juice is supposed to be very good for liver.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And the next question is from Mr. Subramaniam NS. So his question is on the junk food. So this junk food is making our body uh, attain a lot of fat, and it is also creating a lot of indigestion problem. So can you suggest me vegetables to avoid this kind of a problem, that is attaining this fat in the body and having indigestion problem? What kind of vegetable or sattvic food can help me in attain a sattvic or peaceful life? Peaceful life. This is the question what Mr. Subramania has.
Okay. Why do we eat junk food? What is junk food? Junk food is no like your pakoras, bhajis. These are
Yeah.
basically snacks item. No, the
Hmm.
food that we eat for time pass. This is not main source of our diet. Usually we eat junk food like chips, etc., colas, all this for time pass as a no when you're watching TV or in a party or no, it's more of a time pass food. So it is not essential part of our food. But what happens is because of our lifestyle, we need something. So what can we do? What can we add? Like he's asking in this question, what can be added as a substitute? So the best substitute is dry fruits. No, it is easy to carry the dry fruits and keep it with you. No, some little bit of badam, almonds, no, one or two dates. You get a whole lot of seeds now, hazelnut and flex nuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, whole lot of seeds and dry fruits and nuts are there. We can have a variety of that, but don't overdo it. Have a small quantity of that. That is a very good substitute for snacks or junk food, along with regular seasonal fruits.
Okay. With this dry fruits, do they add cholesterol to the body? So there is also one caution.
No, cholesterol has become a bad word because of some misconception. The evolutionary theory says that we have evolved a bigger brain because of the cholesterol. So cholesterol is very essential to us. It is not something bad. But the problem is when we have too much of cholesterol, it becomes bad. No, too much of anything can be bad. So similarly, when you have dry fruits, no, we have a handful, fistful of dry fruits. You don't need to eat half a kg of dry fruit as snacks. Then in that case, no, it may not be a very good idea. So that's
Okay.
why I suggested you mix it up with some fruits and vegetables, vegetable salads. No, then it
Okay.
makes it very interesting as well as healthy.
Okay. Now the next question is from Nagaraj Raj. I think he has a habit of being too fat. So he wants to know what is the best eating habit to lose fat. I think he wants to be slimmer. Probably he's a bit on the heavier side, and he wants to be slimmer. So he wants to know by doing what, by having what food he can reduce his weight.
Okay, Nagaraj, I will give you a surprise. Now, the best habit to lose fat is not about food. No, food if if you come to me and ask me, Guruji, I want to lose some fat, help me out. I will talk about food only in the last. The first thing I will talk about is your sleep. No, sleep is far more important in our metabolism, as well as to maintaining a healthy weight. That means people who have a tendency to sleep or go to bed very late and wake up late, they have a tendency to put on more weight. No, they say up to 10% of your weight. I mean, the cost of increasing a weight can be about 10 to 15% of it is just your sleep habits. So make sure that you go to bed in correct time and you wake up in the morning. No, around sunset, or I mean, around sunrise is the best time to wake up, and you need to have about 5 to 6 hours of sleep. So you can calculate backwards and see you need to get enough sleep and wake up. Not sleeping in correct time as well as not getting enough sleep is one of the major reason for putting on weight. The second thing is about water. You need to drink sufficient water. I'll be talking in more detail about that. You need to drink at least 1.5 liter of water in the morning before you have your tea, coffee, breakfast, anything in empty stomach. It doesn't. You don't have to consume the whole thing in one go. No, you can have a bottle of water and go on consuming it till you finish it, and after that only you have your tea, coffee. So that means, after you wake up, you have a couple of hours, and that will help to clean your system and help to reduce excess fat in the body. And the same way, before every meal, about half an hour before the meal, I would suggest you drink a couple of glasses of water. That will again help you to control your weight and lose some weight. And no, food itself, you need to have less of cooked food, have more of sattvic food, and that will help you in losing weight and controlling your metabolic activities.
Okay, I think very valuable answer. It has highlighted the, it has given a lot of valuable information. Okay, and the next question we have is from Vimal Chawda. I think you had told him about the breathlessness. You told that you have to walk to find out whether your weight is normal. You are told that you have to walk for about 4 or 5 kilometers, and at the end of that, if you feel breathlessness, it means you are overweight. Some you were told something like that. So there is a question: is it normal walk or a brisk walk for checking of breathlessness? Is it normal walk or brisk walk? I think.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah. It is
Yeah,
not audible.
I think there's some technical error. Just give me a minute. I'll just
Yeah.
get this up. Just give me a
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have a break until the technical error is set right. I heard. I think we have a lot of queries to be asked about the health and about the about the fat we have, the way of our eating habits, and we have many questions. I think Swamiji is Guruji is a person who has a knowledge of everything, and I think he has been answering us in a very smart way. All our doubts are getting cleared, and now anybody else of you also having doubts, I think you keep your questions ready, and I think once the Guruji comes back online, we will get clarifications for our doubts. Okay. The speaker is logged out and will rejoin soon, which means there is some technical error and hence he is
Yeah.
logging in again.
Hi everybody. Sorry, there was some issue with the system, so we're just trying to reboot the system. In the meantime, I've taken the answer from sir, and on his behalf, I'm just going to answer that question. It's not supposed to be a stroll, but it's not brisk either. To check if you are healthy, it's in between a brisk walk and a stroll. It's not a lazy stroll, and it's not a fast walk. It's in between. How you would normally walk. And then, if you're feeling helpless in the breathless in the normal walk, that implies that maybe you're certainly overweight or you're not healthy.
Yeah, I think Surya Guruji is coming back, no?
Yeah, in a minute.
Yeah, in a minute he is coming back. Okay, just 1 second. On the board actually. People have a lot of doubts and clarifications needed from Guruji.
Everybody faces this issue, right?
Yeah,
Regardless of the age that they're in. I may be
yeah, because
30 and I have those same doubts, and somebody at
uh
60 also will have those same doubts.
there is a boy actually of Suresh Guruji. He's 17-year-old boy. He has been telling that he is overweight and he has been walking 4 to 5 kilometers every day, but still I don't see any improvement in weight reduction. So weight reduction has been a problem for him. A
I'm just
17-year-old
going to
boy.
reverse my computer. Guruji will just join us from here. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
Sorry for the break.
Yeah, Guruji, I think there was a break. There is one young boy of 17 years who has
Okay.
put many questions.
Uh-huh.
What he is saying that he is overweight, even at 17 years. He goes
Mhm.
for a brisk walk of 4 to 5 kilometers every day, but in spite of all these things, he is not able to reduce his weight. So he is feeling desperate. So, do you have any suggestion for him to lose his weight, and that
Uh,
too at the age of 17 years?
uh, Actually, we need to have a look at his whole entire lifestyle.
Okay.
Now, this overweight is not just about eating; it is about the entire lifestyle. No, it is about how you
No.
sleep, how much of sleep you are getting,
Okay.
how much of stress we have in life. No, some of the habits, what kind of food we eat, and how we eat,
Okay.
how much water do we consume, and how much of physical activity we have. So all that contributes to weight as well as health.
Okay. Now there's one more question from
Huh.
Mr. Subramaniam. So what he's asking is whether, because nowadays people talk about wheat. So what he's
Okay.
asking is whether eating wheat is better than eating rice.
Uh, there is no simple answer for this. People who are used to eating wheat, you can continue eating wheat. People who are used to eating rice, better to eat rice.
Yeah.
It's more about our tradition. So, rice eating people, it is better to continue eating rice than switching over
Okay.
to wheat. No, it's not it doesn't become healthier by eating wheat.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Because a lot of fad keeps coming where they tell you if you eat rice, sugar increases. If you eat wheat, the sugar reduces. So this kind of propaganda is spread everywhere. So
correct.
that's why the
So,
people have started. Many of them have started eating wheat, but they don't like. They want actually rice. So this is one of the questions which has come like that actually.
you rightly said it's a propaganda rather than no. There is
Rather
not
than
much of
real.
scientific proof that replacing rice with wheat will reduce your blood
Yeah.
sugar,
Okay.
because
So
most of
people
the
can
people who
continue with rice.
they
So
have
let people
switched
continue.
over to wheat, roti,
Okay.
and all, but
Ah,
they continue to have sugar.
okay.
So that doesn't seem to be having much benefit to them.
Benefit to them. Understood. So
So
that's they should continue with rice.
so if you are used to eating rice, continue with rice. Only thing is you reduce the quantity, or no, you eat in moderation.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
more than that, I would say add some fruits.
Add some
Fruits. So
fruits.
suppose you're having normally, suppose you take 2 servings of rice. So you, instead of 2 servings of rice, you reduce it to 1 serving, and the remaining part of your diet, you don't have to starve. You you include some fruits, vegetables, and dry fruits
Okay.
to make up for the quantity. So that will help in terms of controlling your blood sugar.
Okay. Okay. Now I have one more question. I think that will take it as the last question. It is from Rajiv Sriram. I can do about 5 kilometers per hour walking. Is that a
Mhm.
good pace to walk at? 5 kilometers per hour. Is it the right speed for walking? That is the question he has.
So, how old is he?
How
Uh,
old is he? Eh? Okay.
so, see, normal people walking is about 3 to 4 kilometers, the normal pace of walking. No, when we normally walk, if you're strolling or something, you walk slower. So, I'm not talking
Okay.
about that. Normal
Yeah.
walking, no, if you're walking and going somewhere, you walk at the pace of between 3 to 4 kilometers. So, 5 kilometers is slightly more than that. That is not a very big brisk pace.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Um, and depending on, I would say more than the pace at which he is walking, the health benefit comes from the distance you have covered. My
Okay.
father used to
Yeah.
be somebody who used to walk a lot. In late 70s or early 80s, he was diagnosed with diabetes.
Okay.
But until a few years back, no, maybe till 2014 or something, he never used to have any tablet for diabetes. He
I
was
see.
able to manage his diabetes just by walking. And no, he used to walk 15, 20 kilometers in a day.
I see. Okay.
No, he used to walk a lot. So when you walk a lot, it doesn't matter what you eat, what other things you do. It takes care of almost everything. So the distance you cover is more important than the pace you cover. Of
Okay.
course, the pace should not be very slow. It doesn't have to be very brisk. It should be a comfortable pace for you so that you can cover the distance. You need to be able to
Okay.
walk about 10, 15 kilometers if you really want to lose weight or control your diabetes. Walking
Okay.
1 or 2 kilometers at a brisk pace may not be enough.
Okay. So thank you. So what you mean is the pace of walking is one of the aspects, but the amount of distance you cover, that is more important. If
Correct.
you're able to cover about 10 kilometers minimum, that would really be adding for the weight reduction program. So this is
Correct.
what I think you have to say. That's wonderful.
Weight reduction, not only weight reduction, also controlling your BP and diabetes.
Okay.
All three, it is very good.
Okay. A minimum of 10 kilometers with a speed of about 3 to 4 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, it should be a pace which is comfortable for you.
Okay,
No,
fine.
I,
Yeah.
I won't say no a single pace for everyone. Depending on your weight, your health system, the pace may vary a little. It doesn't matter. Uh, it should not be too easy for you. You should be able to feel
Understood.
that you're
Okay.
walking,
Okay.
and you should cover the distance.
Okay. Yeah. I think with that, we'll close the question and answer session today. I think we have a few more questions. Probably we can keep it for the next session when we are taking up. I think people have a lot of queries. When it comes to health, people have lots of queries. So probably we'll not be able to cover all of them today. We'll take it in the next session. But what I could tell is today's session has been a wonderful session, and health is a basic. Once, unless you are healthy, you will not be able to do anything, whether you are in business or job or anything. First, the basic aspect is the health. So we all should be very careful, and we should all maintain our health very, very carefully. Then only we can go ahead in life. So today, I have to thank Dr. Suresh Guruji, who has given a wonderful 35 to 40 minutes talk on basic food habits. But I think the question and answer he had was, I think it could have extended more than 30, 40 minutes.
Correct.
Okay.
The
So
question and answer
for a
session
paucity
itself
of,
can be an hour.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The paucity of time, we are closing it today. So I would thank Guruji a lot. And if anybody, I think, if they want to have further consultation with you, probably I can ask them to talk to you also. No?
Yeah, sure, sure.
If anybody wants to have further discussion with you, they can
You
talk to
have
you.
a
And
number. You can share the number with them.
yeah, so I think what could happen is unless you see the person, you may not be able to give a complete, detailed solution for his problem actually.
Correct, correct.
Okay. Yeah. So Guruji, you have given a wonderful session. I thank you a lot, and I'm sure all the audience who are here today are really impressed by the way you have spoken. You have today spoken about sattvic food, rajvic food, and tamasic food. And I also understood the value and the importance of sattvic food. And by maintaining sattvic food, we can have a calm and peaceful life, and that is more preferred. And you also told that there are times when you may require a small quantity of rajasic and tamasic food also. So that is what I could take home today. Wonderful, and a big thanks to Dr. Suresh Guruji. Thank you very much. Now I come back to our members who are present here. This session is conducted by RATA, Refrigeration Air Conditioning Trade Association. So we are a part of RATA Bangalore. So RATA Bangalore conducts many programs, at least 2 3 programs every month, and we conduct programs based on various issues. It can be on health, it can be on food habits, it could be on sales tax issues, it can be on income tax, or the statutory requirements to start business, how to face the sales tax authorities. So likewise, we keep conducting programs on various issues which are going to be helpful to all the members of this association. So that's why what I would suggest is each one of you who are here should join this RATA association, and each one of you who are here should also tell your friends who are in the business to join RATA and get the benefits of this organization, and it will be very helpful for you. It will get you friends across the line who are the suppliers of various refrigeration products, members who are suppliers of various products, members who give service, and members who manufacture various items. So once again, before I close my talk, I request you to join this wonderful organization, and we will be of help to all the members who join RATA. Thank you, and a good day. Thank you very much.